to episode 40 of Arcadiology, where we dig up your favorite arcade relics. My name is Jordan Carruthers, and I'm joined by my three best friends in the world, the Wiggin Boys. Brad Wiggin.
What up?
Sky Wiggin.
Yo.
And Kyle Wiggin.
Saw dudes.
Oh boy, this was a doozy this week. How's everybody feeling coming off this one? You guys ready to talk about it? Ready to talk about some arcade games again?
I guess as ready as we're gonna be tonight at this point.
Yeah.
I'm ready, dude. This game is so fresh in my mind.
Dude, we're about as ready as we can be because Brad just reminded me about 10 minutes ago that I'm hosting, and Kyle just played the game 5 minutes ago. So we are set for this one, boys.
That's quality right there.
It took us 40 episodes, but we got it together now.
Yeah, that's all right. Episode 40, we're falling apart, but it's okay. We're gonna keep on trucking through it. Let's not worry about the bad things here and our mistakes. Let's worry more about what video games you guys playing.
Video game I've been playing. I actually started it and finished it. It's called Chasm. It's another 2D Metroidvania. Came out in 2018, so it's not new, not super old or anything, but this is like the most Castlevania Symphony of the Night ass game I've ever played. Like there's, besides like the actual theme, like there's no like vampires and stuff. You're like exploring a cave, but they did so much to make it feel like you're playing Castlevania. Like you have like a leveling up system. You find like weapons and stuff and have to equip that. Just like the way your character backdashes and like the sound of that and swinging your sword. You kill enemies and they like burst into flames and makes like a sound. There's like these hanging lanterns, like little torches on Symphony of the Night where you jump and attack them. It's like those all over the place. I don't know, there's just so many things. I was like, this is like the closest thing to Castlevania without actually being it. But it's actually pretty fun. I've enjoyed that. They have a one of the more interesting things that sets it apart. You can like generate a random seed at the beginning of your playthrough. So like the layout of the game is procedurally generated. So like every time you come back to it, if you want to play it again, it's not identical, so you can't memorize it. So stuff's kind of in different spots, like different pathways to get there. But overall, it was a pretty fun game. I enjoyed what I played of it.
Actually, I'm watching a video of it right now since you mentioned that, and that really does look like Symphony of the Night.
Right?
Not really
so
graphics-wise, but like the gameplay is like crazy close to it.
Yeah, it is pretty fun though. I've completed it. It probably took me roughly like 6 to 8 hours. Not super long and not extremely difficult, but there were some pretty fun boss fights.
It's pretty cool. It mixes it up with like the randomly generated maps and stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know how well it works, but I mean, it's like Minecraft, how you have like ridiculously long number of seeds. It's like that too, so I don't know how different the playthroughs actually are or how well they mesh together. Yeah, I feel like you'd have to have that refined pretty well for a Metroidvania because you gotta get different power-ups and go back and unlock different sections. I don't know how they made that work, but apparently they did.
Yeah, somehow it doesn't accidentally like lock you out or something.
Yeah, that would suck. You get like halfway through and it's like impossible to progress any further.
I wonder how much of that's like random. Like if they have just like random tiles, like if they have set tiles that randomize, or if they actually randomize things like within the tile itself and all that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I only played the one seed, so I don't know how different another playthrough would be.
I might have to check this game out. This is looking pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. And the only thing, well, it's not really a bad thing, just something that happened to me when I was playing. Because like in Symphony of the Night, you can get random weapon drops. This one weapon I found really early on, it was like more of a rare item, so it came up blue. And the thing with it, like the perk it had on it, like every time you kill enemies, the weapon gets stronger. Like not instantly, but there's like an invisible experience bar essentially for your weapon. So I just had this one weapon early on, so since I kept using that, just kept getting stronger, like the attack of it would get up. So I just used like a single weapon for the entire game because it was always the best one I had.
Just steamrolled with it.
Yeah. I mean, it progressively got better, but it was always just like 3 to 5 points higher than like the next thing I found. So there was never a point to replace it.
Yeah, I'm going to add this to my list because that looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Of all people, I thought you would be interested in this one for sure.
Good find, bro. Good find.
Heck yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I started and finished that game.
You would think they would have like just a general weapon level up. That way it would be viable to use all weapons anytime you want. Because it seems like the game will always bottleneck you into whatever weapon you've used the most.
I just got randomly lucky and found that. So there's a chance you could play and just never find that effect. You know what I mean? So you're just getting different weapons as you play. I just happened to randomly kill an enemy and it dropped that item. It's just like a random % chance that you'll find a different weapon. And there's different weapon types. Like you can use like slower ones that hit harder, or you can use like little daggers that are faster. But the one I got was just like a regular sword, and it had like pretty good range on it. It's like, all right, I'm just rocking this thing the whole game. But yeah, that one's called Chasm.
Well, I got nothing exciting. I haven't played too much. What I did play was just a little bit of Fortnite. Still just zero build. It's still fun for me. It just basically just turns into a kind of regular battle royale. Just something to get the shooter competitiveness out of me.
Nothing new or interesting really going on in the Fortnite space.
I mean, I'm not well versed in it. I've been out of the game for years, so like I'm like just coming back to it. I tell you something super annoying is that there's a baseball bat that people just run around with. Like, it's cool because it gives you like faster movement speed, so I use it for movement. But the annoying thing about it is people can just like run up to you and like home run derby your face, and like. So it's pretty much like every end game now turns into like, it usually ends up on some sort of a mountain or like a hill, like some sort of elevation. And then people just run at you with the baseball bat and hit you, and it launches you off the mountain. And then you die from fall damage. And that's like every game.
That's so lame.
Yeah, it's pretty lame, dude. And like, there's also, I mean, it's kind of always been for like a very long time. There's been vehicles in Fortnite, but I've always hated any vehicle of any kind in a shooter. So like those are super annoying, and like the car paired with the baseball bat is super annoying because the car takes so much damage before it blows up. So they essentially get to like drive up to you without taking that much damage, and then they just jump out of the car and hit you with a baseball bat. So yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like fun.
Jump out the car and Barry Bonds your ass.
Yeah, dude. There's like 3 guys just get out of the car with baseball bats and jump you.
I just keep picturing like the Smash Bros. Home run bat every time when you get hit.
I mean, that's pretty much what it does. Yeah, it launches you.
Well, I did pretty much the same thing I did last time, where it's not new. It's not a new game, but it's new for me because I just started playing it again lately. But I got back into some Diablo 2, boys.
Oh, no.
So you guys might not see me for a little while after this episode. I'm just
What
saying.
This last one.
This is the
Going
last
out.
step. You got to find a replacement.
You're playing OG or are you playing the remake?
Well, I downloaded it takes a little bit more effort to find the actual like original client for it because they don't really support it anymore, I guess. They moved on to the resurrected version, which is pretty much just Diablo 2, but a bunch of like quality of life improvements, and they have like updated graphics and stuff, and they started adding new things to it, new rune words, which are just you can socket runes into equipment, and if you put them in a certain order, it turns into a rune word, which has crazy bonuses. So it's I don't know, I think it's kind of better than the original one. Like all the changes they made, it's pretty awesome. And the graphics overhaul was insanely good. But anyway, I downloaded the original one after messing around trying to find it. And then all my accounts expired because you get like so long before they just delete your account if you don't play on it. So I was like, whatever, I'll start over. And I went in, there was like no games. I was like, oh man, like all the servers are dead, I can't do anything. So I was like, screw it, I have Resurrected. So I went and opened up Battle.net. And I do have the game in my account. That was on my Xbox. So I was like, oh man. So I went in, I have to buy it again on PC. So I was like, screw it, whatever. I want to play it, so I'm just going to buy it. Even though I already did on Xbox, but whatever. So I did that, re-downloaded it. And I was expecting to start over again. I was like, whatever, I'll just restart right now on Resurrected on the computer. And then I guess your account, I didn't know it transfers over. It's like cross-platform.
Okay.
So as soon as I logged in, I had my like level 80 Hammer Paladin ready to go. I was like, yes, I had all this gear on it that I forgot that I had. So I've been playing that last couple of days here.
Well, that's a nice surprise.
I like how he was like, yes, anyways, Resurrected's way better. So I tried to download the original.
Well, that was my first thought when I got it. I was like, I want to see if people are playing like the OG version of it. A lot of people host like leveling games, so you can just join in and level up real quick. So then you can play around with like different builds. Then I was like, yeah, there's like nothing going on here. So I was like, I'll just re-download the Resurrected version, I guess. Whatever.
Dude, it's kind of sad when you go back to a game that you used to play that was like, you'd go into like the town and there'd be like, just like, you couldn't even see the ground because there's so many other people everywhere.
Yeah.
It used to be like this live, like bustling thing, and then like now you come back to it and there's like, you see like one guy coming in and out every like couple minutes.
Yeah, it was a sad sight, man. Those lobbies used to be stacked. There's just tons of games all over the place. There's like Diablo has 3 difficulties, and like you can only see games in the difficulty that you're currently in. But like every difficulty would just like fill with games. And I logged back in, man, it was dead. I was like, this is sad.
The ghost town.
Yeah. There wasn't a ton of games either. Resurrected I was playing. my Hammerdin's on the expansion version, but you can play classic, which is pretty much no rune words, bare bones, pretty much. There's no extra crazy OP items. So I started playing classic, but like barely anybody plays classic. So there's like, I see like the same like 5 or 6 dudes in the game. So
Well, that's because everyone's playing PoE too.
yeah, they probably are. I'm having a good time with it though. I never played classic. Like when I started Diablo 2, I started when the expansion was out, so that's what I know. But I just wanted to check it out and see how it played without all the new stuff. I'm liking it though. It's a lot harder, way more of a challenge, but it's pretty fun.
For me, I mean, I don't got much. I mean, I certainly don't have anything new. I mean, now that I'm done with Final Fantasy Tactics, with my episode of Cable Club being out of the way, which if you have not listened to that, go listen to that. It is, or watch it. It's on YouTube as well. We did the face cams as well. But that's out of the way, so I can kind of go back to to Radiant Dawn again here and try to wrap that up. So just over this last weekend, me and a few guys took a trip to Tennessee for a bachelor party, and we drove, which was like a 10-hour drive each way. So the times I wasn't doing my share of the driving, I was pretty much on my Steam Deck the whole time. So I mean, I got a good like 10 to 15 hours of Radiant Dawn in over the weekend just during those car rides alone. So I made some good progress. I mean, I went from I believe when I picked it up again, I was like the final chapter of part 1, and now I'm already on like chapter like 6 of part 3 or something like that. So I made some good progress there. Still not sure if this will be my final playthrough of it, or if I'm gonna do one more to kind of get some better units of ones I wasn't fully satisfied with, but we'll see.
You're gonna do one more.
You're right. I feel like we've heard that like 8 times. This might be my last playthrough.
Yeah.
I'll probably play this. I mean, this one was always scheduled to be the final one because I had like the units I was going to use planned out for each playthrough, like 6 playthroughs ahead of time. But it's just a matter of if I finish it and I'm like, I feel like this guy and this guy could be a little bit better, so maybe I'll try it one more time. We'll see. I mean, it's a game I'm going to play forever, obviously, but we'll see if maybe I take a little break with it finally after this one or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're going to be on like episode 100 in Jordan's Game Pick. So anyways, I picked up Radiant Dawn again.
For the 37th time.
What I want to know is, why were you so far away from home and not checking in with me every hour to let me know you're okay?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sky. Why weren't you texting me to ask me
why
if
am I
I
just
was
finding
okay?
out about this 10-hour trip? You didn't tell us
Why weren't you
about
asking
this.
me if I was okay, Sky?
This is our cardiology business.
Listen, man. If you had Snapchat, you would have known I was in Tennessee the whole weekend. You could have
Oh
checked
boy,
in.
you know I don't do all that new age stuff.
You're such an old man.
Snapchat. I can't even spell Snapchat.
You're just out here yelling at kids to get off your lawn, dude.
Oh, your Snapchats and your tiki-talkies. I don't know. What are you kids doing
He is
these
a
days?
tiki-talkier.
These damn kids. But yeah, man, that's about all I got. That's all I really have played lately. So nothing too unique or interesting for me. Just the same old, same old. Well, anything else to add before we hop on in?
Nope, I'm set.
Start hopping.
Let's just hop straight in there. Nosedive into that.
All right, let's go ahead and nosedive right on in and dig up some Contra. Contra is a 1987 run and gun developed and published by Konami in 1987. I typed that twice in my notes here. We'll just forget that part. You can take control of Bill Reiser and Lance Bean of the Earth Marine Corps' Contra unit, sent to destroy enemy alien forces attempting to wipe out humanity. So this is another one of those games that's very well known for being incredibly difficult. So how many times did you guys have to play the game to make any actual significant progress?
It took a while to even make any decent progress. I just kept, I don't know. When you get to like the 3D stages, those are throwing me off. So those had me stuck for a while.
Yeah, I think I played it 1.5 times.
Till he mastered it.
He really got the hang of it after that.
Well, as we discussed before we started recording, I played a different version first. And then while we were waiting for Skylar to show up to the podcast, Brad directed me to the actual version of the game, and I was like, I'll just start playing it now until Skylar shows up. So I played the actual version literally right before we hit record.
I mean, to be fair, though, you just played the same game, just the NES version. I don't think the differences are too significant.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I guess the biggest difference I seen was that the NES version didn't have a time limit, so there was no timer.
I don't think this one had a timer, did it?
Yeah,
Just on the maze stages.
Yeah, when you get to like the maze, like hallway stages.
Yeah.
There's a
The normal
timer
game
on it.
didn't.
Yeah, the normal one didn't. And then I told Brad another thing was like the other version that I played. Like I was kind of doing it last minute like usual. So like, but there wasn't like an open MAME file like all these other ones have. So like I didn't know how to get to where I needed to go to like change the controls. So my jump button was apparently also tied to the pause button. So every time I would hit jump, my guy would pause. Like the whole game would pause, and I have to like press it again to unpause the game, and then my guy would do his jump. So it was kind of
man.
It's a very awkward playthrough.
So you had a good time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There was like once or twice when I was like, actually, this is kind of useful because I could like press the jump, and then it would pause everything, and I could kind of like assess where all the bullets and stuff
Wow,
were,
dude.
and like figure out what direction
cheating.
you wanted to go. Yeah,
I think it's kind of crazy that you can pause an arcade game.
yeah, it's basically like the Matrix.
Well, he was playing the NES version on accident.
Oh, I thought he meant when he got to the arcade. I was like, I couldn't
No.
pause anything.
No.
General reference, when most people refer to Contra, they're talking about the NES version. Everyone hypes it up. No one's talking about this arcade version. It is a bit different, but I'm just saying in general, I feel like no one ever even mentions this one.
The first one I remember playing was the NES version. That's one I remember. I don't think I ever played this original arcade one, which is pretty cool to check it out.
Yeah.
So I guess let's just get this out of the way early because this is another one of those games where you are limited on your credit usage. I mean, you can pump as many coins into it as you want, but you can only continue, like 3 or 4 times or so. Obviously, it's not a guarantee that we finished it, so how far did everybody get? And for Kyle in specific, did you get further in the arcade one or the NES one?
I literally got further in the arcade one that I played waiting for
good.
Skylar.
Good, then we don't have to worry about any kind of controversy with the other rankings there then.
Controversy.
Well, if...
Whoa, God.
Them puns.
There's that one joke that Kyle usually gets. This guy got his this time.
Oh, I had to get one in real quick.
Anyway.
Well, if we're talking game completion, I made it to the end of the game like 3 times, and I did finally beat the final boss on my last one. So I was ready to come in here and say I got to the end, but I can't beat the final boss. And then the other night when I was playing it, I finally pulled it off. So I was pretty hyped.
Nice, bro.
Fair enough,
Took me all
fair
4
enough.
credits to get there. I just barely did it.
I'm very disappointed to say that I did not beat the final boss.
As in, you got to him?
Well, I made it. There's 2 different forms. Like you destroy like the alien head thing first, and then after
Right.
that you fight like the heart. I think it's the heart of the
Yeah.
brain at the end of it. So I died at the alien head, the first phase of the boss.
Okay.
So I don't know, man. It's too much going on. By the time I got there, like, and if you die there, there's no power ups from that point on. I don't even know if there's any power ups in that whole level. Maybe 1, but like as soon as you die on the boss, you're just down in a little pea shooter, and it's so hard to kill anything.
If only you would have asked for my tip. You would have beat him.
What was the tip?
Brad, nobody wants your tip, dude. Get it out of here.
Everyone needs a tip. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
bro, tip me up, bro.
Nobody
Tip me up.
wants the tip.
The tip, right before you get to the final boss, there's a floating power up. It's probably the one you're talking about, like in the stage. And every time you shoot it down, it gives you like the invincibility. And if you get it, you have enough. If you just bum rush him and shoot him, you can kill him before it runs out.
Oh, wow, I did not know
Yeah.
that. See, I went in after the fact. Like, it wasn't a legit run. I save stated my way through because I wanted to see what the end was like. And I went through and got to that heart, whatever, the beating heart thing you have to destroy.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I was so close to the end of the game. If I destroyed that head, you walk down the hallway. A little bit of spam in that hallway, but then you get to that guy, and that's it. So I didn't get to actually beat it, though.
See what happens whenever you don't take your brother's tip?
God,
Man,
Bad
take the
things,
tip.
dude.
Should have hit me with that tip ASAP.
Jordan, how'd you do without any tips?
Well, I was going to ask Kyle, how far did he get into it?
I made it to like you go through the hallway the second time, and I got through the second hallway, and then I died. I don't even know what you want to call this thing. It's not like a boss.
Yeah,
Maybe it
that
is.
next boss fight.
Is that a boss fight? Like it's just like a
Yeah.
okay.
Like shooting
well, yeah.
cannonballs down at your head.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
that thing is. Yep.
I didn't make it much further, so the first few times that boss got me a good bit, and then finally I did manage to make it past him a few times. My most recent playthrough, which I did maybe half hour before we recorded, see if I could squeeze one more in. It was the furthest that I got. It's the very next stage after that boss you're talking about. It's like a snow level. I got up to like the first, I don't know if you want to call him like a mini boss, but he's like the really big tall guy that throws like balls at you. I got to the very first one I think there's a few of those. I got to the very first version of him. So I don't know if that's like maybe a fourth of the way through that stage or something, because I think Brad said it kind of stops counting it as different stages after that point. It's just one giant stage the rest of the way through.
Seems a little like half-assed in my opinion at that point. It's like
Yeah.
the stage just keeps switching. It's like they just stopped doing those 3D like stages. They stopped adding like regular bosses. You just keep on running and the stage just keeps on
Mhm.
changing around you.
But I guess considering Brad and Sky got well past that, they kind of have a rough idea of how far I got. I'm assuming you guys know what I mean by like I don't know if I want to call him a mini boss, but the really tall dude that,
Look like big football player guys throwing stuff at you.
yeah, if there's like those balls at you, you have to jump over them. I got to the very first one version of him.
There's another one after that, a second one.
I remember there being more than one. I just got to the first one.
Did you fight those tanks?
Yeah, I got past the tanks.
Okay. I couldn't remember where that. I think the boss might be right after that mini boss.
Yeah, so
Yes,
you weren't too
that's-
far from the final boss.
If what I've seen though, it's a mess after that though, man. Got to go through like those fire corridors and stuff. No way.
Yeah, them tanks were insanely annoying. I never actually killed any of them when I fought them.
Oh, really? The tanks?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think I was hurting it because I kept shooting it. Maybe I just wasn't shooting fast enough. There was no indication for me that I was actually hurting it. And then they would just drive into me and kill me. So anytime I got to that point, I would jump into them and die and then just spawn behind them and run past.
That's an option.
It's only afterwards when I went through and save stated because I wanted to see the whole game that I actually killed them. Like I stood there with the spread shot and just destroyed them.
Yeah, I pretty much had to fight them with like the regular pea shooter every time. And you
Yeah.
can just, I killed them every time, but it's like as they're about to
Just
run in,
barely.
they're like a pixel away from smashing you and they finally blow up.
It's weird because if you just stand there, it shoots right over your head. You don't really have to do anything to avoid its attacks. You just have to mash the button just to kind of wipe it out before it starts moving again.
Yeah, this is again one of those games where it's like you get the power up and like it looks like from watching the playthroughs, the game looks kind of trivial if you have like the full spread shot. But if you die one time and you lose that, then it's like it becomes exponentially harder.
In some of the games we play, you die and your power-ups will still be there on the screen. This isn't the case there. You die, you lose your power-up. You got to keep on going until you find a new one.
Yeah, I've had moments where how the boss you died on, Kyle, I guess we're calling it the second boss, the one that it's like in the vertical kind of battle and has like the two masks on the top.
Or would
Yeah.
you call the one at the end of the waterfall stage the second boss?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess this would be like, I don't know. It's hard to, 'cause
Yeah, it's
the way
it's
the
hard
levels
to
are divided.
Yeah, it's hard to differentiate.
I guess that'd technically probably even be like the fourth boss if you really think about it. If you count the wall in the beginning as the first boss.
Maybe.
Exactly. It's so weird. You
Yeah.
don't even know what to call a stage and what to call a
It
boss
is
at this
weird.
point.
It is weird.
But what I was trying to say about that boss real quick, when I get to that boss, if I don't have a power up, I'm resetting. That thing is a disaster to try to defeat without a power up.
Oh, the
Yeah.
one Kyle died on?
Yeah, it's like raining those grenades that are like slowly floating
Oh.
down the screen on your head.
I had the little basic pea shooter every single time I fought him. I never once fought him with a weapon upgrade, and it takes forever.
Yeah, it sucks. I did it a couple times. Like, I'm just going to restart the game. It's kind of easy to get there. It's not worth trying to just burn my finger out smashing that
I
so many
mean,
times.
I did beat him like three or four
Yeah.
times or so with that weapon. It's just you got to be really careful he doesn't hit you with those bombs he sends down at you.
It takes a minute, man.
It does.
It's
It takes a
doable,
long
but
time.
it's not worth it. I did not have fun when I did it that way.
Nah,
That's
when I
fair.
got there with a spread shot, I was like, oh my god, this is night and day. You don't even have to move with a spread shot.
I also didn't realize in like the hallway stages, like you can just crouch for like 90% of it and not get hit by anything.
Yeah, I didn't take advantage of that like I should have.
I mean, every so often they catch you off guard, they throw them bombs at you.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of enjoyed the hallway stages. Maybe a tiny bit more than the normal side scrolling ones, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I might be with you. I thought that was
Nice.
kind of at first when I first got to it on the other version, the NES version. I was like, "What is this, dude? I don't even remember this." And I thought it was kind of weird. And then I went through it again on the other version, and I was like, "Actually, I kind of like this part."
It kind of had like a newer Zybots feel almost, but
Jordan liked
it,
Zybots confirmed.
no, I was
confirmed.
going to say it's not awful to try to do it though.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of theirs. It was kind of the perspective of it because instead of the rest of the game, you're moving from like left to right or up and down the screen. This you're moving into the screen, like into the depth of it. And the way the bullets and like the little, I don't even know what they are, like little barrels that roll down at you. It's kind of hard to tell when you're gonna land, when they're gonna hit you. So I tried jumping over it, and I just like land on it. I don't know. It just kind of frustrated me on those ones.
It's fair.
Yeah, I think I would always jump. Like I said, I wouldn't try to jump over them. I would just when I would jump left and right. So I would
Yes,
be
me
jumping,
too.
but also moving out of the way.
Exactly. That's how I always did it, rather than try to shoot those little barrel bombs out. Now, it did take me like one or two playthroughs to realize that you're supposed to essentially be aiming for the one target on the back wall. So whenever you make a turn, which also I didn't realize on my first playthrough that there was a map right above me showing me which way to turn. I think I was kind of just making the right choice, luckily enough, a few times there. But there's a map to follow. You can go either left or right. And then you get to a new screen where you're behind like an electric laser force field, and there's a bunch of enemies down a hallway that are trying to shoot you, and then there's also like a little circle target on the wall that you're aiming for. Sometimes you gotta duck to hit it, sometimes you gotta jump to hit it, but it did take me one or two times to realize that was like the main target that you're supposed to go for, because then it clears out the screen once you destroy that.
Yeah, I was just randomly shooting everything for quite a while till I realized I was like, because there's like two turrets on most of them that are shooting on the sides of it as well. I
Mm-hmm.
was just blowing everything up, and eventually I was like, oh, I guess you just got to kill everything on the screen, then you move on. It took me a bit to even notice that what the target was. And I noticed if you go to like the very left or the very right, and just lay down, nothing can hit you. Like, none of the grenades ever go over there. None of the barrels ever roll that direction. So you can just kind of sit in the corner. I mean, you can't beat everything over there because you do have to get up
Yeah,
to shoot the target, but it is a safe spot if you're kind of like panicking. You just go to one of the sides and lay down, and you're good.
I can appreciate a good safe spot. Now, one thing I didn't get about that, as I said, there was like this electric fence, and every now and then I would get zapped by the fence, and I never had any idea why. Do you know what causes that to happen?
As far as I know, it's only if you accidentally like try to walk forward and you walk
Yeah,
into it.
I
that's
didn't think
it.
I was ever walking forward. I feel like I was only ever going side to side.
Yeah, could have just registered. You know what I mean? Like the very slightest
Yeah,
forward
I
directional
guess.
input. Because I think it happened to me once too.
Yeah, I had that problem too.
Sometimes you die from it because like maybe you'll get stunned for a second, then shot by something else, and sometimes you get lucky and it'll just stun you for a second and you can get away. But man, that was a huge pain in the butt.
Yeah, I had that happen quite a few times.
Yeah, I only had it happen initially. Once I realized just don't press forward, it never happened to me again. So maybe I just accidentally bumped it. But it's kind of annoying because there's no reason to ever press up in that until you beat it. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It just feels kind of like a cheap thing they have there that doesn't need to be there. Like if it's not there and you run forward, you're probably gonna die anyways because all the enemies. It just seems like a way to get a cheap death out of you until you realize don't press up.
Yeah.
Mhm. I must have just been bumping up with my thumb as well when I was trying to go back and forth.
Mine was mainly on like the room transition. Like as soon as you hit the back wall, you turn left or right. I would run to the right, and then sometimes I guess I bump forward and I hit that fence.
Okay. Like from going from one to the next.
Yeah, I think once I was on the screen though, I don't think I hit it. It was just when I was moving from the previous room.
So we talked a little bit about weapons, but I guess we can jump into those a bit. So, as with most of these shooters that have weapon upgrades, you kind of start with your little standard pea shooter. It's just, one bullet at a time, and you got a button mash for it. Maybe you can help me remember all the weapon upgrades here. There was the spread shot, which definitely felt like, to me, the go-to. That's kind of the one you really wanted. I mean, I feel like the spread shots in these games are always super solid. There was kind of like an upgrade to the pea shooter where it still shot one bullet, but you could actually now hold the button in and it would kind of like rapid fire, so like a machine gun, I guess, of sorts, and it was a bit stronger. There was, I think it was like a ray gun or something of some sort, which I could never I can never make work. I don't know if you have to maybe hold the button in to make it fire further, but it seemed like it only ever fired like just a few feet right in front of me. And is that? Oh, there was one other one. I think it's kind of shot in like a spiral motion. So it's almost kind of like the spread shot. It would spread out wide, but just a little bit different. Did you guys have a preference to any of those besides for the spread shot? I think we all like that, but any other ones stand out?
Spread shot's just hands down the best. I do
Yep.
remember in the hallway I got stuck like twice because the one time I had the laser and I don't think it reaches the back wall. So I don't think I was like really trying to hit the target and I just couldn't do it. And so I think I got killed from that. And I think I got stuck there again because I had the other one that you said like spirals. And it's like I don't know what's up with it, but it shoots all awkward, so I like couldn't hit the targets with that thing either. Or I could, but it was like taking way too long. So it's spread shot for sure.
All right. Well, the trick
Yeah.
with the laser is you have to press the button and let the beam travel to the end of the screen. Every time you press it, it deletes the shot you have out and restarts
Oh,
it. So if you just keep
That's
spamming it,
dumb.
yeah, you're just gonna hit like right in front of you. But it is like a piercing shot. So if you're on like a side-scrolling stage and you just press it and don't keep pressing it, it's gonna shoot the whole way across the screen and kill everything. So I mean, it still isn't as good as a spread shot, but it's would have been more useful if you guys knew how to use it.
Yeah.
You guys knew what the hell you were doing.
That's not how I meant that, but you know what I mean.
That's another tip
Either
for you.
way.
Thanks, B. Another one
Wow,
of them tips,
dude.
I guess.
Oh, dude, I don't need any more of Brad's tip.
Tips for days, boys.
I don't know. That just seems inconvenient to me. I'm sure it's buff, but
That's a problem on a lot of like old systems. I didn't know it was a thing on arcade, but like older systems, you can only have so many things on the screen at once. So I think that's maybe what that was. If you spam it too much, like it stays right in front of you. I figured that out, but I still didn't like the weapon.
I assumed it was just a balancing thing, so you couldn't just beam it everywhere all the time. But I don't know.
There is some kind of limit because the closer you get, the more you can spam your bullets. If you're off the screen, sometimes it's a little bit slower. You have to wait.
Okay.
I noticed that with the I think the rapid fire gun, which that was probably my second favorite because I think I got the spread shot in the first level or something, and I died, and I got the rapid fire, and like I actually tore through the next couple levels with that thing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone hypes the spread gun, but I thought that, like, machine gun, that was my favorite, dude. That thing just shredded things.
That thing kills the bosses so
Yeah,
fast.
so fast. And those targets in the 3D stages, how you just hold it in like a burst, I don't know, it probably shoots like 20 bullets super quick. Just one burst of that will take out, like, the target. You can
Yeah,
kind of blow through a lot of that pretty fast. I really like that gun.
yeah. I think between that and the spread shot,
I was gonna say it just required a bit too much precise aiming for my liking.
yeah, it's like if you get closer to a boss or like a whatever anything you're trying to destroy, the closer you get, the faster it'll shoot because there's less bullets on the screen.
That makes sense. Yeah, how you guys said that fire, I thought that was definitely the worst one. It kind of like spirals, like you were saying, Jordan, and it moves really slow. I think that was its biggest problem. Like you could shoot a bunch of them, but it's like takes seconds to even reach the end of the screen as opposed to anything else. Like you shoot it and it's flying to the end pretty quick. So it's just like kind of you're waiting for it to hit stuff as you're struggling, trying not to die.
I didn't mind that one too much. I didn't think it was all that awful, but I don't know. You knew how to use these weapons better than me, apparently.
I mean, if you made it work, that's cool. But it's just compared to the other ones, I thought it was the least desirable.
Yeah, I just like anything that covers a lot of the screen.
I would like to try to take the laser like to the end boss and just see how fast it kills him.
Yeah, to kill all like the alien spawns.
Yeah, I wonder if the damage on that's actually like higher than everything else since it's kind of harder to use.
I think so, because I think that might one shot the targets, like in the 3D sections. I think it one shots them.
I'm gonna have to do another playthrough and try that.
Yeah,
I'm
try to
so
survive.
disappointed I didn't beat this.
Well, now you know the tip, dude.
Got
Mhm.
the tip.
So if we want to talk about stages a bit, or I guess stages in the first half of the game and then stage in the second half. So kind of just a little brief rundown. I mean, the first stage you're kind of just running through the jungle. It's obviously very basic, being the first stage of the game, kind of just learning the ins and outs of it. The second stage, you're actually going upward this time instead of going sideways. You're going up, kind of like a waterfall, jumping up like water platforms up a waterfall. And then the stage after that, and of course, as I forgot to mention, there's those maze stages in between those. But then after that's the one where I can't say much about because I didn't finish that one. That's where it kind of starts in like the snowy area and then transitions into a bunch of other random stuff. Brad and Sky can tell us more about that level, obviously. Any stages kind of stand out to you guys?
The waterfall one kinda, at first, that one frustrated me a lot because as soon as you start, there's like two guys shooting down at you, and as soon as you jump up to kill them, if you move over to where they were, like the ground they were standing on catches on fire, and that'll kill you. And then you go up a little higher, and then there's this guy throwing grenades, and it seems like those are like impossible to dodge. As you're trying to dodge that, a turret spawns on the right and starts shooting at you. It's like, geez, it's just so overwhelming. I took on the strat to just bum rush it, just keep on jumping and shooting as fast as you can, and just like don't ever look back. Get to the top as quick as you can, because then the boss wasn't that hard, but just the stage itself, there's so many hazards.
So that's the stage I enjoyed doing the most as well. Well, not as well. You didn't like it, but that's the one I enjoyed doing. But I kind of took a similar strategy with just rushing to the top of it. The only difference is right at the beginning of the stage, you have two power-ups floating around, and one of them gives you that like temporary invincibility. So pretty much I would make sure that was like my top priority, was getting that invincibility power-up, and then just I don't care about anything else at that point. I'm just running right to the top, and by the time I get to the boss, I typically still have that power up, so I kind of can just run through that whole stage no problem without getting touched by anything.
Yeah, the shield power up in this game lasts a generously long amount of time. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I did the same thing you did, B. I stuck to the left of the level and just kept jumping up as much as I could.
Yeah,
I think near the beginning you have to go to the right to hit a platform to get up, and that got me killed a couple times because, like you said, the turret pops up and then like these grenades split into like 3 grenades and blow up, and I kept getting hit by it. But as soon as I get past that part, I just stick to the left and just jump straight up to the boss.
Yeah, if you're quick, that guy that throws the grenades, like he won't do it until you like pass him, I think. So if you pass him, jump to the right and hurry up and dash to the left, his grenades won't hit you before you get up a little higher. But like I said, then you have that turret shooting at you, so it's still not like an easy pass, but you can at least dodge those stupid grenades. That's what killed me most of the time.
What's weird is like once you get to the very top where the boss is, it won't actually spawn him until you jump again. So like you're on the platform with the boss, but you'll just sit there and fight random enemies until you actually just jump, because you have to jog the screen up a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Up like halfway.
Yeah, it's like, what? I mean, that's the boss. As soon as you touch down up there, it should like scroll up and just start the boss fight. It's kind of weird you have to jump again.
There was one playthrough where I just stood there waiting, and I'm like, why is nothing happening?
Do the enemies keep spawning left and right there until you do that? I know they do when you're fighting the boss.
Pretty sure.
Man, you should have stayed there and just farmed some points up. Maybe that's a good strat. Get like 10 extra lives right there before you continue.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about that, but it takes way too long. Because like outside like the hallway stages, there's no time limit. So in theory, you can just stand in one spot, and like especially in the first level, enemies will just keep on spawning, and they're super easy to kill. You get a 1-up at 30,000 points, and I don't think you get your next one to like 100k. So it's like it takes so long. I was like, all right, I thought this might have been a good idea. I'm gonna farm and get some 1-up so I can run through the game on this one life, but it didn't happen.
I don't know, man. I might be patient enough to try it out. Give it another shot here.
At least tough it out and get that 30k real quick.
Right. Gotta at least get down like the next boss in the game or something, so I can just say I got a bit further.
Yeah, you made it to the last stage. The halfway point is the last stage, basically, in this game.
I guess so. Kinda. Technically.
Kinda.
Halfway through the last stage, too. You're almost at the boss.
Kyle, how'd you feel about the waterfall stage? That seems to be the main talking point here.
I actually didn't really even like pay attention to the waterfall stage. It's like I don't think it was that bad for some reason.
Just happened and it was over.
Yeah, I just got to it and I jumped through it. Everything seemed fine.
That's it.
And where was that tip at?
Right?
Sorry, I withheld the tip, but
Oof. So wait, did nobody else get that immortality power up at the beginning of the stage?
I didn't even know that was a thing, honestly.
I still don't know it's a thing.
I got it every time. I just rushed right through it. Nothing could touch me.
To be honest, I never even noticed if I was invincible or not. I don't even know what you guys are talking about, to tell you the truth.
I didn't even know it existed.
You got like some things floating around you. And I think it actually kills enemies on contact too.
Oh, that little like shield thingy, a little bomb shield thing.
Yeah, so it's almost like the Mario Power Star. You can just run into things and kill them.
Okay. I thought you guys meant like you just like flash or something and you can't get hurt.
I mean, you can't get hurt. I thought it was going to be like, what we play? Smash TV, where you get like things floating around you and they'll hit enemies and that's how they die.
Yeah.
But like you're literally 100% invincible. You can just run through everything.
I didn't know that's what that was. I assumed it was
Yeah.
like a shield. Like if something got close, I would get lucky and it would kill them. But I was still playing like cautious the whole time.
Nah, dude. I was playing that like the Mario or the Sonic power up. You get that, you just run into things, they go boom, and you keep on going.
I didn't realize that was complete like invincibility. I assumed it was a backup in case I screwed up and something hit me. Maybe it'll save me. But like I didn't think I could just go all gung ho with it.
Yeah, I didn't know either at first. And then once I realized that, and I found the one near the end of the game, I was like, oh, dude, I got this figured out. I grab that thing and just start rushing. Nothing can hurt you.
All right, so Sky and Brad, you're the only two that got the whole way to the end. Is there anything to really talk about or point out in the back half of that final stage?
I mean, I don't know if there's anything all that interesting. There's some platforming. You got to dodge some like flamethrowers, and you got this other spot where there's like these, I don't even know what they are. It looks like spiky shafts that kind of come down and try to drop on your head.
Too many
that's what it
weird
is.
tips. Too many
That's
weird
exactly-
tips, dude.
Hey, he didn't say anything wrong. That's what it is.
This episode
Spiky
is
shaft.
getting the explicit rating.
Dropping on your head. It's in Contra. I don't know. I didn't
we got-
make it.
That's after those guys that throw the big balls at you too. So
Oh man, we got to bring Rock
Yeah.
Hardy back for this episode. He would love Contra.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Scott, but I don't have much else to say about that. I didn't think there was too much crazy.
no, the back half of that level is mainly just like a lot more platforming than the beginning of the game was. It's not a crazy amount of platforming, but I mean, there's a lot of obstacles you got to dodge. I mean, other than that, those little things of flamethrowers. Then after that, it's final boss.
Yeah, it's a very short game. It's just a matter of can you get through it or not.
It's kind of crazy. The game only, I mean, really, if you get used to it and you run through it pretty quick, you can beat the game in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe less if somebody's like awesome at it. I mean, I'm not awesome at it.
I mean, I played it yesterday for maybe like an hour and did probably like, I swear, like 5 playthroughs of it. Obviously not finishing any of them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's relatively short.
Which I always appreciate. As far as bosses go, I mean, we kind of pretty much covered them pretty well. Besides for like the final boss, it is very different and unique. I know we kind of said it's hard to differentiate what's really a boss and what's kind of just something on the screen you're shooting at. A lot of like the quote unquote boss fights in the beginning of the game, rather than being like one specific enemy, like most games would be, it's kind of like, it almost feels like it's like a fortress, like that has like a bunch of spots you have to shoot out, and then like maybe something will appear at the very top of the screen that you gotta take care of then. But the whole time you're getting attacked by things, and I gotta tell you, man, for both of the first like 2 or whatever bosses, the ones that throw like those cannonballs at you, I died every single time on that initial attack where it throws like six of those cannonballs at you. I could never avoid them. That drove me insane. I hated it.
Yeah, I figured out that as soon as you would move into the first one, I just like, I put a save state there to like test this out so I would know until I actually came back and did my real run. But like, if you step right to the side where like the ground is red, it's like red, gray, then it's red again. If you step so your character's just in the red, nothing will hit you. So as soon as it would start, I'd run over there, stand, wait for it to shoot its first volley of cannonballs, blow the one up, run to the opposite side on the right, and stand right in the red carpet again, so you were safe.
Jeez.
There's like, yeah, I always made like little mental cues of where a good spot was to chill that you wouldn't die.
Tips by Brad, man.
Yep, gotta get them tips.
But yeah, that boss and the one that Kyle died on are very similar. It's kind of just there's a little bit more added in with that second one that Kyle died on. And as we said before, I mean, that guy lasts absolutely forever, an absolute eternity if you have your base weapon. And he has this attack that he'll do where he throws these like it looks like a lit bomb, like one of those like very stereotypical like round black balls with like a wick on it. I don't know if that's what it is because it's like a game from 1980 something and this, the sprites and whatnot, but that's what it looks like. But they'll kind of fall down at you very slowly and you can shoot them. But then if they get too close to the bottom of the screen, they kind of start to speed up and almost kind of like target you, like heat seek at you. So you kind of got to jump around a lot if those get too far down there. That was a big pain. Kyle, I think if you hop back in there though, I think you could beat him.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched the playthrough now a couple times during this episode, and yeah, like I said, it looks, if you just keep the spread shot, like it looks pretty trivial.
Oh yeah, I imagine as I didn't get to experience it, but I definitely imagine.
Yeah, what frustrated me the most about that was the way they look like masks at the top of the screen have like brains in them. That's what you're killing. But whenever they move, they kind of like flash and you can't hurt them. And they always launch a bomb out at that moment. And the way your bullets travel up the screen, it's like you got to stop shooting at them and start shooting at the bombs. And then by the time you go back to them, they're flashing again and moving and you can't hit them. So it was just like, for so long, you just keep running back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, screw it, I'm not going to get the bombs. And then you get killed because the bomb goes like it's going off the screen, then zooms in, homes in, and smashes you. So that was the worst one.
Yeah, they go so slow too. Then like you're like, okay, I'm safe, and all of a sudden it just busts a 180 and just flies at you.
Yep. Yeah, I can't imagine how different that spread shot would be.
I kind of started to learn like when to jump, like because I would just focus on one. I'd stay to like the left side, shoot whatever I could, but I tried to stay where he was going to end up so I could shoot it. I would blow up like one of the bombs on the one side, and I would just let the other one go, either off the screen, or I'd wait till it got close, and then I'd hurry up and jump out of the way. But I think if you just sit on one side of it and just keep spamming, every so often you have to let the other one get close to you and jump over it. It still takes forever to kill them just because they have like invincibility frames and all that. That was one of the more tedious bosses.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
And what also kind of sucks, right after that, the start of that snow level. Did you guys get past that spaceship thing without dying?
I was going to bring this up. That was another part where I can't even imagine how much easier that spread shot would have made this.
And what's even more ridiculous is there's a power-up right before that thing that you shoot in the ground. It's a spread shot.
It's a trap! It's a
But
trap!
when you shoot it, the spread shot lands exactly where he spawns those guys, so you can't even grab it.
It is
why?
a trap.
Why does it go to the right and not the left when you shoot that? Like, you need that to get past that without dying. And they put it directly underneath it.
Honestly, man, I only ever got past that ship one time. And the way I did it was kind of how you got past the tank. I just died and kept running while I had the iframes.
Yeah, that's how I did
just
it.
got out of there.
I think I got lucky in my last playthrough. I had the spread shot before that, and I was able to kill it. But then I died later and lost it, so it didn't matter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why you never did the boss before it without a power-up, because not only for that boss, but as soon as you beat it, then you're at that point with that ship that drops down. And I still didn't do it without dying, but I did it one time with only dying once, which was progress. I think I had the machine gun, so I was kind of just like jumping, rushing towards it because I knew it was gonna try to kill me, and I was like doing damage to it, then trying to like maintain the enemies. I was like racking up some quick points on accident. I felt like I was doing like this crazy strat because I was just like farming them like so many spawns because they just keep on dropping left and right on you. And I finally killed him, and then one of the guys ran up behind me and killed me. I was like, damn it, so close to get through that without a death.
That's what sucks. Like, you would think the guys, because the dudes drop out of the bottom of it on the ground and run to the left towards you. But then there's also guys that come out of the side of that, and they fly over top of your head.
Yeah.
And like, you would think they would fly over your head, maybe drop a little bit, but go off the screen. But no, they turn around and like land and try to kill you.
And another thing that just, in general, this game that got me is when you're running and shooting, and you want to like crouch, I don't know, you have to be really precise and like directly press down. If you're like at a slightest angle, your guy's gonna keep on running and shooting. And I've ran into enemies so many times that way, or tried ducking bullets and I couldn't because I just keep on running. So that annoyed me.
Been there. But it does have Sky's favorite thing, and you can drop down through platforms.
Yes, my boy Contra pulling through for me.
That's right. It had nice air control too. When you're jumping and moving, you can have some pretty good movement of your character midair.
Yeah, the control is pretty solid, minus the goofy crouching, I'd say.
Yeah, and you can't like you can't lay down and shoot, and then while you're holding down, go to the left and like spin around and stay in the ground. Like your guy stands up anytime you change direction. So I died a couple times with that.
Yeah, well, I got pretty much nothing else to bring up. I think we got about as much out of the tip of this 10-minute game as we can really do here. Does anybody have anything else they want to add there?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we touched on it, dude. I mean, I didn't make it very far, so I didn't get to experience a couple of the later legs of the game, but
we touched that tip as much as we could. Anything, Sky?
Well, I don't know. Other than the final boss, really, which I mean, just a giant alien head, pretty much from the movie Aliens. I don't know how they didn't get sued.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how they got away with that, but it's aliens.
We'll get into more movie stuff here soon.
You kill that thing, it shoots like little weird round baby alien thingies curled up in a ball that it spits out of its mouth at you. They swarm you. Then you run through the hallway, dodge a bunch of crap, and when you're fighting that heart thing at the end, like there's little eggs on the ceiling and eggs on the floor. Little like face hugger aliens come out of those eggs and like charge at you. That's pretty much it though.
Like I said, I was prepared to give up and say I made it to the final boss, but I couldn't beat it. I got there with like my little cheat there by using the shield to get past the first phase. And when I got in there, I only had the regular machine gun. So I had to fight this thing with just the regular pea shooter. And I was like, well, I'm screwed because I had 1 life and I died. I was like, oh, I have another continue. I was like so hyped and I started going. I was like I was just laying down, killing the aliens on the ground. I used that credit up too. I was like, man, I got so close and it said continue. I was like, oh my God, I still have 1 more credit. I was so excited and I got in there. I was like panicking because I still got down to the last life and I just barely like pretty much just brute forced it because I had 3 lives. I killed like some of the aliens on the bottom. I just stood there and kept on shooting as fast as I could right up to the heart, and I finally killed it. I was ready to jump out of my chair. I was so excited. I finally beat it, dude.
That last fight is intense, man. Yeah, I was checking it out when I save stated through because I wanted to see the end of the game, like see what the boss was. Like you can spam that, like you can bum rush it with the pea shooter if you have at least like 2 lives remaining before you like game over.
Yeah, I got there having no idea I still had 2 credits left, so I was just expecting to lose. So, dude, I just kept getting more. Every time I continued, I was just getting more excited. I was like, oh, I might actually have a chance, and I actually beat it. So it was pretty fun.
And what's like weird is it's not even like you get spammed by them alien things, but I don't even think it's worth focusing on them because if you run right up to that heart and just spam it, like it'll die pretty quick. But you're gonna die probably once or twice too. But even with the pea shooter, I don't know. If you focus too much on them little alien guys spawning, they're just going to swarm you and you're going to die.
Yeah, I was definitely getting overwhelmed trying to keep up with them. I eventually just went straight for the heart, but I should have did that earlier. I probably could have saved a credit then, it sounds like.
Yeah, you can just run right up to it. I think you're going to take at least 1 death, maybe 2 if you're unlucky. But I think before that happens, you get enough shots off to actually kill it.
In that case, combo that with my little shield tip there I gave you. You can get past the first phase with no deaths, and then you get up to him, and you know what I mean? All you need are 2 lives, and you got it.
Yeah. If you got spread shot, it's over in like 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I am going to play this game again when we're done, because
Nice.
I can't finish this without... I can't go my life without beating this game, man. I got to do it.
Can't have it on your permanent record.
No, man, it's on my permanent record. It'll never be expunged. It's there for life. I can't allow that. I'm hoping by our next podcast episode that I'm going to be able to tell you boys I 1cc this thing.
Nice, I hope so.
Best of luck, my friend. But yeah, I think that's about all we got for this game. This 10-minute game, we did pretty well here. So why don't we go ahead and throw it on over to Brad for some numbers.
Alrighty, we'll move right into the numbers. We obviously already did our credits / completion, so we're just going to go straight into our rating. And we're going to rate this one, pretty easy one. It's going out of 2633. That's the year the game takes place in. So I'm giving this a 1832. I mean, I played it enough to beat it. I didn't love it, but I had some fun with it. I mean, everyone hypes this game up, but like I said, I think they're talking about the NES one. And I don't know if I really played that much either, so I got to go and play that and compare them. But I don't know, it had good controls. The music was pretty good. We didn't really talk about that. Gameplay was decent, but I don't know, some of it a little frustrating, but overall it was a decent game.
I'm going to give this we're going to go with a 2100 on that.
All right.
I think it's one of the few games that we played that I wish it actually was longer. Like this game was too short. Cuz I was actually having a lot of fun playing it, and then by the time I realized like I died, I got to the final boss and died. But then afterwards it was like one more phase, so I was like, "Oh, the game's over already, like 10 minutes." Which usually for games that I start to get a little annoyed with, I'm like, all right, it's only 10 minutes, that's a plus. But for me, I wish this game was actually a little bit longer, just because I like the gameplay of it. It's pretty fun. Like, all the bosses are nothing groundbreaking, but I mean, it's enough going on. There's patterns, but it's also a little bit reactionary too. So it has like a mix of both, which is pretty cool. I love the music, obviously. Contra music shreds. The only thing that really sucks is there's some choke points where if you don't have a power up at a certain point, you're pretty much gonna die because you can't put out enough damage to kill anything with like the pea shooter, and half the power ups are actually worthless anyway. Just the spread shot and the rapid fire were pretty much the best. Maybe an argument for the laser, but I mean none of us really use it or know how to use it the best way. But yeah, overall I like this game. It's pretty awesome. I never played this one either. I grew up with the NES version of it, so this one was like kind of new to me.
Well, I'm gonna follow that up and slap this one with a nice even 2000.
Oh, slap it right on there, Big Daddy.
Yep.
Oh my god, can we stop?
Jordan, why you gotta make stuff so
Is
weird,
this
man?
how you
Jordan,
speak
come
to your
on, dude.
brothers?
Come on, man. Jordan, we all talk like this. What are you doing, bro?
Jordan, you're making it weird, dude. Come
Yeah,
on.
man. It was normal until you brought attention to it. Now I'm starting to feel a little weird. Now I'm second guessing the way
Hey.
I talk.
Kyo's mom listens to this show, dude.
She does.
Well, my mom doesn't.
Hi, Lynn. Well, I think she does.
Maybe Kyle's mom does. I don't know if Brad's mom does. Mine doesn't.
I bet they all do.
Anyways,
Anyway, let's pick this back up. Let's pick this back up.
slap it with a fat 2000. And I mean, for what I got to play of it, like I think if I played it again, I could probably just beat the thing. Doesn't seem like it's that difficult once you kind of see the stages ahead of time. And as long as you don't die, you just keep the spread shot, and like it makes everything look kind of trivial. I liked the that it wasn't like all platform, like it wasn't like the standard platform the whole way through. I liked that you started off and like you kind of did the side scroll, and then you did like the up and down for the waterfall, and then you got to like the sort of 3D with like those tunnel stages. I actually enjoyed the tunnel stages as well. I think just from watching the back half of the game, I think they did kind of like they were kind of just like trying to hurry up or something. I don't know why they kind of blended like what should have been like 3 different stages together and just kind of like made it like seamless all the way through. They could have probably done a little bit more with that, but I don't know. The bosses were some of them seemed kind of similar, but they were like different enough, I guess, that it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm with Skylar. I think this could have been like not crazy long, but you could have added like at least 5, maybe a max of like 10 more minutes of gameplay, and it would have been pretty good for this.
I think if they would have added like maybe another one of those 3D stages or just like another boss in between on that ending stage, you know what I mean? It would have made it feel more complete. It wouldn't have felt like just that real long stretch with nothing in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least one more of those like third person levels, like the maze thingy. Maybe make it
Right.
like more alien stuff on there. You know what I mean? Mixed with like the machinery.
All right, Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, I don't have anything super crazy to add. I mean, it's kind of just to me one of those like mindless fun kind of games. I mean, there's not like a whole lot to it. I feel like it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's just kind of a little on the difficult side, obviously. I mean, unlike you guys, the short length of it, I think, is kind of just more of a bonus. I mean, I love these games to be extra short. I do definitely get the idea of that final stage should have been split up and maybe have an extra maze thrown in the middle there to add maybe an extra 2 or 3 minutes or so. That probably could have been good for it, but overall the length I was pretty happy with because I like to not spend 45 minutes doing one playthrough and not want to do it again. But yeah, it was I mean it's a fun game. It's definitely hard, which I don't always love, but I think it was enjoyable enough to still slap it with a respectable score and just go ahead and give it an 18-20.
Okay, we're all in a fairly decent range there. Nothing too far off from each other. That being said, it's time to rank it. This is Big 40 here, boys. This is a big game, big number. Where are we thinking it's going to go on our list?
It was like upper middle to me, right?
For middle, I'm feeling that. I don't think it cracks a top 10, personally.
No, not quite.
I think somewhere between 10 and 15.
Yeah, I can see it like around that general area. I'd be okay with about like 14, 15 or something. I think I'd rather play Alligator Hunt and 10 Guy, which we have at 12 and 13. So I think about 14, 15 for me. Feels pretty decent.
I'd be good with 14.
There's obviously games below that I prefer as well, but nothing worth like fighting for.
Yeah. Just based on how fun it was too. Like it's one of the games that I actually want to play. Like I want to go back in and try to get better at it.
Yeah.
Same way with like Trick Trap. I played Trick Trap a little bit too.
I mean, I personally would put this one at like number 9.
Woo!
Wow.
We're going up
Man.
there.
I mean, I'm glad to hear it.
Jeez.
I love me some Contra.
I thought you were about to say low, like lower than us at least.
He was going to put this
No.
right under gold medalist.
Yeah.
My thought was, what are you gonna do, like, comparing this to Wizard Fire? Because I know you're a Wizard Fire fan.
I do like Wizard Fire, but it's like
Me too.
it ended up too far down on the list that like I
Yeah.
can't put Contra that far down. But I would rather like replay this than like, I mean, for me, obviously, I don't really care about Street Fighter, so I would put it above Street Fighter. I definitely would play this over the Punisher again.
Oof, that one hurts.
Yeah,
me.
I feel the same about both of those.
Yeah, I mean, Mazinger, maybe it's a toss-up. They're both pretty good.
I liked Punisher way more.
Mazinger's earning his spot there in the top 10. That was a pretty cool game.
I'm kind of on that 14 with you guys. Your initial stab there.
Yeah, I like Alligator Hunt and 10 Guy both a little bit more.
14 it is.
Yeah, it works for me.
Lock her in at 14.
I can do that. Hey, it's above Joe and Mac, Kyle. I know you appreciate that.
I do appreciate that.
Alrighty, then we have 13, 10 Guy. 14 is Contra. 15, Joe and Mac returns. That was a pretty quick and easy ranking this
For
week.
once.
And Jordan, what's at number 16?
What's at number 16? Ew, Crossed Swords.
There we go.
Oh,
There
nice
it is.
Swords.
You just wanted me to say the thing, didn't you?
I did.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Here's the thing.
Little
Here's the
callback
thing.
there.
The people who didn't listen past the ending theme would have no idea what that reference even is.
All the more incentive to check it out.
Yep, only the most dedicated fans out there.
Oh, yeah. For anyone out there, go back to the Crossed Swords episode and go to the very, very last few seconds, right after the outro theme. You'll hear me be an idiot.
Anyone out there in the void where this goes and no one hears it?
To be fair, I have actually heard somebody else pronounce it that way ever since that day, and I don't know why.
That hard W on their
The hard
swords.
W, Crossed Swords.
You almost sounded like a Viking when you said it originally, man. I was like, oh, this dude trying
I'm
out
a
for
Viking,
a Viking
dude. What do
role
you
or
mean?
something.
I am a Viking,
Ah.
bro. Come
We shall cross swords, brother.
on.
All right, enough sword crossing here.
That's all right.
Jordan.
Keep your swords to yourselves, boys. Keep them in the sheets, boys.
Let's keep the swords and tips and rock hardy and all that away.
Put it back in your sheath.
Wow. Anyways, that's it for the numbers, Jordan. You take us away.
Anyways, I'll take us all the way, boys, up the trivia. Leading the way, Sky. Oh, it just never ends tonight. Sky has 69 points, of course.
Oh, of course I do for this episode.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Like we needed one more for this episode. There it is.
It just won't end, dude. Brad's in second place with 62. Kyle has 54. Let's start it off with question number 1. As I said earlier, we're going to get back into some movie stuff here. So, the playable character Bill is modeled after what action movie star? A. Arnold Schwarzenegger. B. Sylvester Stallone. Or C. Dolph Lundgren.
Gotta be Arnie.
Oh,
Going with
man.
A.
I'm thinking, I want to say Arnold also, but Dolph Lundgren doesn't that character have like the tall blonde hair or whatever like him?
That is Ivan Drago.
Yeah, see, he looks like him, but was he? I feel like it has to be Arnold though, because Arnold's like the run and gun guy.
Is that your answer?
Yeah, Lundgren's a second though, but I'm gonna go with Arnold.
All right.
I'm going with Stallone, dude.
All right. Well, Kyle, if I would have said the other guy, you would have been correct, because the other guy was after Sylvester Stallone, but Bill is A. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I actually don't know which guy was which.
I was kind of hoping I could trip you up with that Dolph Lundgren one, Sky. You almost
You
did.
had me thinking it, man. I was like,
Almost took the bait.
yeah, that was
Man,
good.
He's got that Drago look about him, dude. I was hoping I could get you.
I could have believed it.
Good enough. You still got it. Question number 2. The US version of Contra changes the setting of the game from New Zealand to what continent? A. North America. B. South America. C. Asia.
I'm going C, Asia.
That's how I was leaning towards. I'll go with C.
Let's go with B, South America.
And the correct answer is B. South America. It takes place in the Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah, right, dude.
Until you get to the weird alien parts and the snow and all that, apparently. Maybe we'll just say it's the first stage. But that's what,
Actually,
that's
so I guess Asia, because I'm pretty sure when I was playing the other versions, Brad, when I was looking at the main list of all the games, there were a couple Contras in there, and a lot of them said US/Asia.
Is that just like the version of the ROM?
Yeah, I think it's just the ROM itself. I don't think it's like the actual to do with the game.
Yeah, just talking about like the actual setting of the story. But South America. Good job, Brad.
Thanks.
Question number 3. Home versions of Contra are well known for taking advantage of the famous Konami code. But what was the first video game to ever use the Konami code? A. Life Force. B. Galactic Warriors. Or C. Gradius.
I'll just say Galactic Warriors.
I'm torn between that and Gradius.
So can I pick D? What is Konami code?
Oh,
Ooh.
we'll talk about that after the question. We'll get the answers first.
How am I supposed to answer the question?
I mean, is
I
it gonna
don't
make
even
a
know what it
difference?
is.
Is it gonna
I
make
don't know,
a difference?
does it?
It's what is it? It's up, down, left, right, BA.
Yep.
Sometimes start, select.
Start at 1 player, select start to do 2 players. For Contra.
It's just a cheat code that a lot of Konami games use, and for Contra, it gives you 30 lives.
Yeah, I know the code. I didn't know it was called the Konami code.
Oh, yeah.
Some people call it the Contra code because it's just so well known for Contra, but
That's where I
obviously
first
that
heard
wasn't
of
the
it.
first game.
What's weird, I actually didn't try that for this arcade. Did you guys try it?
I don't think it does anything
Nah.
in the arcade. I think it's
Maybe
just
it's in
a
the.
console.
It might be in the NES version, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kyle could have done it.
Right.
Yeah, could have.
Anyway, I know Gradius is like a space shooter game. I think Galactic Warriors. I don't know if that's Contra like or not. I don't actually know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but for some reason when he said it, I was like, that's the one. So that's what I picked.
If it's anything like Contra, I feel like that's the one. I'm gonna go with that one too.
All right, Galactic Warriors. And Kyle, now that you know what the Konami code is, what's the
Oh, well,
which
now
game's the
that I
first one
know,
to use
it's
it?
definitely Galactic Warriors.
All right. Well, that didn't help you at all because the answer is C. Gradius.
It was Gradius. Damn it.
Sky, you got to stick with your gut, dude.
I
Come
know,
on.
man.
Don't listen to Brad.
Right? Who's this guy?
Just because he knows how to use the laser doesn't mean he knows about the Konami code.
That's true. That's true.
They don't use codes. You're looking at the wrong guy here.
Hey, we're trying to do a clean show here. No codes.
That's right.
It's been a clean show, all right. Anyway, Sky gets 1 correct. He goes to 70. Brad gets 2, goes to 64. Kyle, sorry. I mean, you got none, but at least you're staying in last place like you want with 54.
Let's go, dude.
Let's go.
I'm on a hot streak tonight, boys.
And that's all I got for trivia, boys. So before I throw it back to Brad here again and we do all of our closing stuff, does anybody have anything else they want to say about Contra before we wrap it up?
I mean, not about Contra, but I do want to say I'm realizing that at some point Skylar's gonna have like 1,000 points, and I'm gonna have like 106. So that's pretty upsetting. But anyway, continue.
1,000? He's at 70. 1,000? How many episodes? We're gonna be in the retirement home recording.
Hey, I said someday.
Damn. Welcome to Arcadiology, kids. That might take a while, but we'll see. Anybody else?
Yep, I'm good.
Yeah, we're good.
Next time on Arcadiology, we have the Wild West Cowboys of Moo Mesa.
Alrighty. Well, if you want to send in questions, you can send them into arcadiologyquestions@gmail.com, or you can fill out the Google form in our description. And the reason I'm telling you that is because we have one today. We have one from a listener. Comes in from Andy. And what he writes is, suddenly you're back in the 90s and you just walked into your local rental store. You get one game, one movie, and a snack. What are you walking out with for the weekend? I'm taking Zelda Ocarina of Time, a game that I undoubtedly won't finish before returning, but that sense of wonder will keep me thinking nonstop about it. For the movie, Candyman. Something I will obviously put on way too late and scare the shit out of myself with. All while eating my Buncha Crunch. So, that was
Nice
Andy's
choices.
answer.
I like all
Solid
3 of
lined
those.
up there. Yeah, that sounds like a good weekend there for sure.
Man, I haven't heard of that movie forever. Candyman.
Candyman, yeah.
Jeez.
I watched it not super long ago, but yeah, I didn't watch it when it was new.
I think I watched it probably a couple years ago randomly, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, it's a weird kind of movie. That guy's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just made a new one not long ago, I believe.
Oh, I didn't see that. I watched the old
Mhm.
one.
Same here.
Yeah, that Zelda is an excellent choice. That's a one, like, especially if you would walk in and see like the gold cartridge. I don't think you'd be renting that. I think you would be keeping that.
So I don't know if you guys have ever seen it in my game room, but I have that original gold cartridge
Yes,
on
sir.
display with the box and the
And
manual.
it is
all that.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. Nobody come rob my house, please. But I'll kick it off with the actual answers here. So I'm gonna treat this question as if I'm actually a child in the '90s, like with no knowledge of my current adult life, just a total refresh going back in time. So I lived at Blockbuster. So my grandmother took me to Blockbuster all the time to rent games. I think I might have actually talked about this in the show once before, but my big go-tos, I really, really got into renting the PS1 Final Fantasy games, whether that's 8 or 9. I think I actually owned 7 anyway, so I didn't have to rent that. But that's how I played a lot of those Final Fantasy games back in the day, dude. I'd rent 8, play it for like the 5 days or whatever, and take it back and renew it for another 5 days and keep on playing it and just rinse, lather, repeat there, man, over and over again. So I'm pretty sure that's how I played 8 for the first time. I think that's how I played 5 and was it 5 and 6 that were bundled together? They I remember on PS1 they bundled some of the older Final Fantasy games together, but I played so many of those games that way. So I'm just gonna say I'll get like Final Fantasy 8 or 9. As for movies, I mean I think to this day Happy Gilmore is still my favorite movie. So probably either that or Billy Madison. As count me among one of the people actually excited for the Happy Gilmore sequel that's coming out in the summer. I'm sure it won't be great, but I'm still super excited for it because I do love that movie. So we'll say one of those good 90s Adam Sandler movies, probably Gilmore or Madison. And for my snack, dude, I'm with him. Bunch of Crunch all the way. If we're talking about the kind of snacks they would have, like a video store, like those movie theater snacks, I'm all about that Bunch of Crunch, man. Since I got rid of Butterfinger BBs, those were sick too. But I guess I could get them in the 90s. So one of those two, man. Bunch of Crunch or Butterfinger BBs. I'm set.
Nice.
Solid choices, solid choices. Guy, what about you?
Man, I'm torn on the games. I was debating if I should do what Jordan did, like clean slate. You're walking in the first time as a kid. I guess I don't know. I'm assuming that's the way the question's asked.
However you
Maybe
want to take it.
Whatever catches your eye. Well, if it was the gold Zelda cartridge, obviously, I mean, it's the only gold cartridge in the store, so I'm grabbing that. But if not, it'd probably be Banjo-Kazooie.
Ooh, okay.
I love that game.
Okay.
So if I saw that, I'd probably snag that off the shelf. I don't know. I was really into N64.
Yeah, man, me too.
But it'd probably be Banjo. 100% Mortal Kombat for my movie, no doubt. I love that original movie.
Okay.
People got some things to say about it. People think it's terrible. I love that movie.
Yeah, same here. We watch that so much.
Yeah.
I think I just watched that not that long ago.
The original, Jordan.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Good stuff.
I'm going to go through here soon and watch them all. I love those movies. I know back in the day I made a mistake of renting Majora's Mask. So if I had knowledge when I went back, I would not rent Majora's Mask.
Yeah, same.
We
talked about that in the show before. We're not big Majora's Mask people.
No, I'm sure it's
You and
awesome,
me.
but at the time, I couldn't figure it out the first day. So after that, I just had the game for like 6 days and I played other games. So I tried it that first day for a couple hours and it's like, this game sucks. And I put like Banjo in or something or Ocarina of Time. And then for my snack, I don't know if they would have them at Blockbuster, but I used to eat these things called Star Crunches all the time. That was like my favorite snack as a kid.
No, I know what you mean 100%. I don't know if that would be at Blockbuster either, but we'll give it to you. Who cares?
If that's my snack, man. If they
Those
got
are
it there, that's what I'm
fire.
grabbing. Yeah.
Those are fire, dude.
Used to get out of the corner store, get them for like a quarter, I think. I love
Yeah.
those things.
Speaking of Little Debbie's, did you guys see that they have what is it, like the Nutty Buddy cream pies now?
Oh, I did not hear
I've
that.
seen that.
They're incredible. Anyway, that was sorry for getting sidetracked there.
Oh,
Talk
no, man.
about snacks. We start losing focus.
Welcome to the Snack Podcast.
About to be another 20 minutes here. But yeah, that's my things there. Banjo-Kazooie, Mortal Kombat, Star Crunch.
All right, Kyle, how about you?
I mean, there's a lot of choices, dude. I've looked around and I was like, I see like a game and I'm like, oh, definitely that game. But then like I see another one, I'm like, oh wait, no, definitely this game. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I forgot that game was there. There's just so much, dude. But like, if I just gotta pick one for now, I'm gonna have to go Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Nice.
Would be number one. I mean, dude, we would just play that game forever, dude. And like everyone would be sitting around trying to like collect the tapes, and like you take a turn, someone else take a turn. And not only was like we were into skateboarding and the game was so fun, but like, dude, the whole soundtrack is just fire.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing got you more pumped, dude, coming over from school and just popping in some Tony Hawks.
My brother and I played the hell out of that, but as always, I'm really bad at button combination games, so it was just a button masher for me. But I still played the hell out of it.
I just want to say, Kyle, what you did right there perfectly described the what you did in the rental store. Like, oh, I want this one. Oh, I'm definitely getting that one. Oh, I'm definitely getting this one. That was like the most realistic scenario.
Yeah, remember you used to walk around, you'd have like 3 games in your hand at once because you couldn't decide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm definitely going Tony Hawk. Movie, I think I'm going The Sandlot.
Hey.
Yeah, dude, The Sandlot. I don't know, there's something about them. It's so weird to me because it's like, if you would just like explain what The Sandlot is to me, like, it doesn't sound like I would like it. It sounds like the dumbest thing.
Kids
like
playing baseball.
Yeah, it just sounds like I could care less about any of it. But there's something about The Sandlot, dude. It just hits.
That's one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah. So I'm going Sandlot, and then I mean these things must be popular, man. But I'm also going Bunch of Crunch, dude.
Yeah, dude, they're so sick.
Yeah, they're just solid, dude.
Solid top tier movie theater candy.
I mean, I'd probably choose them nowadays, but back in the day, like Star Crunch, that was the only thing I liked.
At least they still have Bunch of Crunch, but like I said, they got rid of those damn Butterfinger BBs, man. Bring them back.
Yeah, or even I guess back then, did they have like the little, like the mini like Butterfinger bites?
No,
Those
it
were
was
pretty
just,
good too.
They pretty much just like replaced the BBs from the 90s with those little bites.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to get some snacks here after the pod. I'm getting hungry now.
Right. I do have to say though, Kyle, you just barely made the cut with your video game choice because Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out in September of 1999.
I know,
just made it.
In there.
Just made it.
You just pick that new release up off the shelf, dude. He's hyped.
Yeah.
Everybody was over at his house playing that new game.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Like, you got the new Tony Hawk? What?
I mean, I was torn. I was looking at I was gonna either pick Tony Hawk or I was going to pick Diablo. Like the original Diablo.
Ooh.
But
Dude.
I thought about it and I was like, I mean, both are super good. I played them a lot, but I just think there's something about Tony Hawk, man, that was more of like Diablo was more of like, you'd go home and like, you kind of play it by yourself a lot. Maybe you'd play with like another person. But Tony Hawk was like, everybody was playing it and taking turns and like the soundtrack was hitting. It was just a good time.
Still one of my favorites of all time.
100%.
Yeah, and that was actually my second pick. I put down 2 games, I was bouncing between them, but Kyle's bringing home Tony Hawk, so I don't got to worry about that. I can go over to the Super Nintendo aisle and grab Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's the one I'm bringing home.
Oh, that's a solid one too.
It's a game that I still like to put on from time to time. I remember playing that game as a kid. It's just like one of the games that I vividly still can just remember playing like certain stages of it, and the soundtrack to that game, that's still, I think, one of the best. I love the music in that game. That's one of the few games that I'll just like. Unfortunately, the soundtrack's not on like Apple Music, which is what I use. So I'll just like look it up on YouTube and just like jam to the soundtrack because I love it so much.
Big giant baby.
That's right. Yeah. Uh-oh, spilling his milk on you.
Uh-oh.
Then you get to the chainsaw one. That one actually like scares you because these guys are running through the maze with the chainsaws. It's crazy.
There's I was like, oh my god, where'd that guy come from?
Yeah, that's definitely an all-time favorite for me as well. And then for my movie, we're bringing home Fight Club. That was a fun one that definitely liked watching.
Is that a 90s movie?
I think late 90s, I'm pretty sure.
I would have thought it was early 2000s. Yeah, you might be right.
You guys getting Fight Club and Tony Hawk on release day? You guys are rich.
Right?
You're so angsty. Yeah, 1999. I was going to say, I know it's close.
Man, I'm going over to the Wiggum Boys' house.
Wait, where do you live? You don't
Wait a
live with
minute.
us.
Wait a minute.
You weren't there already?
Wait, I'm there. Wait, I'm one of them.
Oh, wait, look. Oh, man, Jordan, we're stacked against you. All 3 of us get to share our games. You're coming over, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, wait, I wasn't born yet, actually. I wasn't born yet when Brad had that game.
And then I guess I got to pick my snack. There's a toss up here. It's tough. It's either going to be Butterfingers, but instead I'm going to actually go with some lemon heads. I love some lemon heads. Those are one of my
Lemon
favorites.
heads.
What
Oh,
the
yeah.
heck?
I'd never expected you to say that.
Interesting choice.
Sleeper pick. No one saw the lemon heads
No,
coming.
you threw me way off with that. Lemon
Yeah,
heads.
dude. Something about lemon heads that I love. Whenever I used to go to the movies with our cousin all the time, that'd be one of my snacks, lemon heads, dude. They last forever. So that's one of the benefits. Butterfingers, I'll have that thing gone in like 15 minutes.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
It's starting to sound like an ad for lemon heads. Not like that
Maybe.
stupid Butterfingers thing that are gone in 2 seconds. Get lemon heads.
We're getting paid by Big Lemon.
If only.
Well, that's our choices there. Anything else on that question, guys?
Nope, that was solid.
Good stuff. Yeah, it was definitely
yeah,
fun.
It was
one.
awesome.
I will say, if I go to the N64 games instead of PS1, I'm probably snagging Pokemon Stadium 2.
There you go.
Which I think, actually, that one's cutting it close to 2000 as well. But one of those Pokemon games for 64 for sure.
Pushing the limits here for sure.
Yeah.
That's 90s. I think one of my favorite games of all time is Breath of Fire 3. So, I mean, that was a little bit
Oh,
before.
no. Stadium 2 was 2000. I guess I'm getting Stadium 1.
If Breath of Fire 3 was on the shelf at that point, I don't know if it was or not.
Another movie I almost picked, but I mean, I would have been too young for it. But I guess that wouldn't be anything new. Sky was always watching stuff I was too young for. Anyways, I was probably sneaking watching. But Clerks was definitely a really fun movie.
Oh my god,
that one's hilarious.
Yeah.
The original Clerks, dude, that was one of the
Yeah.
best movies. I love that.
That's definitely would have been a top. Mom wouldn't let me get that, so I guess I couldn't pick that one.
I'm not even sure how I got it.
Yeah.
I think we probably got it from TJ.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think my backup movie choice after the Adam Sandler ones was Home Alone.
There you
Nice,
go.
dude.
It was a solid classic, you know.
Yeah.
The first two were perfect. They made some like kind of weird dumb ones after that. There's like
with
four
like
or five
with
of
a
them.
different kid.
I think 4 was maybe the only decent one after those. I think they have a 3 and a 5 maybe, and I'm pretty sure they suck.
I can't say I've even watched the later ones.
Nah, the first two those are the best.
Alrighty. Well, that wraps up today's question. Thank you, Andy, for sending that in. Anyone else wants to send them in, you know what to do. Send it to arcadiologyquestions@gmail.com or fill out the form. But that wraps that up. Jordan, you want to take us away for the rest of the show here?
Yes, I do, and I want to again thank him for that question. That was a good one. That definitely gave us some good, solid discussion here. So please, by all means, guys, send us some stuff our way. But anyway, besides for that, you can follow us on all social media at Arcadiology. Hop in and join our free Discord and come hang out with us. And as always, you know we'd appreciate it very much if you leave us a 5-star review, because I just want to read one on there. So go ahead and go do that. So say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
See ya.
Goodbye, boys.
Oh, you guys, I didn't mean literally, you sillies. Insert the closing line here. Goodbye.